Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today. So we're looking at a fascinating shift in how modern software teams operate. We're exploring a tool that has really evolved way beyond just being project management software. It's genuinely become a whole philosophy. We're talking about Linear, of course, and how it's rapidly established itself as the modern operating system for high-speed engineering and software development.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's tech deep dive. We're covering the antidote to enterprise bloat, opinionated workflows and cycles, the keyboard-first developer experience, when Linear reaches its limits, and finally, execution versus product discovery.
All right, Section 1, the antidote to enterprise bloat, customization versus opinionation.
What we've got here is essentially a philosophical tech battle. It's legacy enterprise systems that try to be absolutely everything to everyone, going up against modern, high-speed startup tools that force a very specific, streamlined way of working. Understanding the North Star of these competing tools is pretty crucial. On one side, you have Jira's philosophy of flexibility. You know the drill. Jira is endlessly customizable. You can have hundreds of custom fields, totally complex nested workflows, and cater to entirely different departments all at once. But the trade-off? A heavy configuration tax. It often requires a full-time admin literally just to keep the system running without collapsing under its own weight. On the flip side, we have Linear's philosophy of focus. Linear is unapologetically opinionated. It doesn't let you create 50 custom statuses. Instead, it gives you a highly efficient workflow that prioritizes developer velocity over administrative configuration.
And this brilliantly illustrates their biggest technological differentiator. Under 50 milliseconds, that is the latency for most actions in Linear. It's incredibly fast. They pull this off through a local-first architecture, which basically means the entire database of your active issues is actually stored right there in your browser's IndexedDB. While traditional cloud infrastructure might take, say, 1 to 3 seconds to query a database and load up a complex ticket, Linear's sync engine makes searching, assigning, or changing a status happen almost instantly. When the tool moves as fast as a developer's thought process, it keeps them locked right in that crucial flow state.
Which brings us to how these philosophies handle scaling startups, particularly when it comes down to pricing. Let's talk about the 11th user trap. So Jira's free tier is strictly capped at 10 users. If you're bootstrapping your startup and you hire that 11th employee, boom, you suddenly have to pay for all 11 seats. It's a sudden financial hurdle that catches a lot of folks off guard. Linear takes a completely different approach. They actually offer unlimited users on their free tier, and their pricing scales based on the volume of active issues instead. This open structure is great because it allows a growing team to invite guest contributors and truly embed the tool in their daily workflow to see the real value long before they ever need to pull out a credit card. Moving right along to Section 2, opinionated workflows and cycles, basically how work actually gets done. Let's explore the core mechanics of how Linear forces a very specific, highly efficient rhythm for engineering and product teams. Instead of those abstract agile sprints we're all used to, Linear uses something called cycles. These are time-boxed periods, usually around 1 to 8 weeks, designed specifically to keep team momentum high. What makes them so powerful is the automation behind them. Unfinished open issues generally just roll over automatically to the next cycle. Plus, Linear has this neat capacity dial that calculates your team's velocity based on the past 3 completed periods, so you know exactly how much work you can realistically take on. You can even schedule cooldown periods after a cycle to give the team a breather, which is perfect for tackling technical debt. Now, we all know how backlogs can turn into black holes where concepts just go to die, sometimes growing to thousands of completely unmanageable items. Well, here is how Linear handles new ideas and bugs to prevent that. It uses a strict 3-step workflow. Step 1, all unsorted new tasks explicitly land in a triage view. Step 2, a team member has to actively review them and explicitly move them to the backlog or just decline them entirely. Finally, Step 3, they get assigned to an active cycle. It's a brilliant anti-clutter mechanism that keeps the entire execution pipeline incredibly clean. Section 3, the keyboard-first developer experience, or, as I like to call it, never touch your mouse. Let's pivot for a second to the daily user experience and focus on how developers actually interact with this interface to maintain their speed. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer magic of Linear's deep Git integration. They use something they call magic keywords. So when a developer is writing code, they can type specific words like closes or part of, followed by the ticket ID right into their pull request on GitHub or GitLab. By simply doing that, the ticket statuses in Linear update automatically in the background. The developer doesn't ever have to open the issue tracker itself. Let me walk you through a quick mini-story to show you how this basically eliminates context switching altogether. Imagine you're a developer. Step 1, a ticket gets created in Linear. Step 2, you pull down the code and name your Git branch with that exact ticket ID. Step 3, the second you open a pull request, Linear automatically sees it and changes the ticket status to in progress. Step 4, your code gets reviewed, you merge the PR, and Linear automatically flips the status to done. Boom. You never left your code editor or your terminal. It's a completely seamless handoff.
And even when you are inside the Linear app itself, you can do almost everything without ever reaching for your mouse. Just think about these essential shortcuts. Hitting Command K opens a universal command menu, very much like Apple's Spotlight. You want to create an issue? Just hit C. Need to assign it? Press A. Want to edit something? Hit E. And if you ever forget what key does what, Control and / brings up the full shortcuts list. It is literally designed from the ground up to keep developers blazing fast and entirely keyboard-driven.
All right, Section 4, when Linear reaches its limits. Let's talk about the scaling cliff. Okay, it's time for an objective critique. The data we have from Git-Scrum breaks down exactly where Linear's beautiful simplicity actually becomes a limitation as a company grows. From 1 to 10 engineers, that is the absolute sweet spot. 0 pain points, incredible speed. But from 10 to 30 engineers, cracks start to appear. Cross-team projects can get a bit messy. When you hit that 30 to 100 engineer mark, there is significant friction. The simplified portfolio views start to fail, and executives start demanding macro-level dashboards that just aren't built into the tool. And once an organization passes 100 engineers, they typically switch entirely. Why? Because they require true enterprise reporting, complex capacity planning, and strict SSO compliance.
The reality is, scaling a large tech organization simply requires completely different mechanics. As companies grow, they need advanced velocity charts to compare sprint-over-sprint performance across dozens of squads. They need deep cross-team dependency tracking, like knowing for a fact that the back-end team in London is blocking the mobile team in New York. And they absolutely need enterprise-grade compliance and audit logs, especially in highly regulated industries. These are the very specific features that inevitably push larger organizations toward heavyweight alternatives like Jira or Git-Scrum.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds into our final point, execution versus product discovery, or the discovery vacuum.
This brings us to a really fascinating limitation shared by almost all execution engines on the market today. Despite all their speed, tools like Linear and Jira often suffer from what product experts call the discovery vacuum. The backlog is filled with tasks, right? But it lacks vital context, like who actually requested this feature? Was it a $50,000 a year enterprise customer or just a free user? Does this ticket even align with our quarterly strategic goals, or is it just classic feature creep? And pragmatically, how does this fit into a developer's real calendar availability? We saw in the Morgan documentation that without calendar context, teams almost always overcommit. Without answering these basic questions, engineering teams might literally spend months building things that don't actually move the business needle at all.
So how are the most successful B2B teams solving this? Well, they're actually splitting their stack. On one end, we have execution tools like Linear and Jira. These are highly mechanical systems. They are fantastic at tracking exactly how you are building the software. But on the other end, teams are placing discovery and planning tools like Lane for product strategy or Morgan for calendar capacity right in front of their execution tools. These tools are much more strategic and deliberate. They track why you are building it, who asked for it, and when you actually have the deep work capacity to get it done. It's basically the ultimate defense against roadmap drift.
And that brings us to a quote from the Lane article that really hits hard. Execution without discovery is just efficient waste. I want you to really take that away from this explainer today. Tracking your work with lightning speed, using all the best keyboard shortcuts, and having a perfectly clean backlog, that means absolutely nothing if you are building the wrong product.
Which leaves us with this final, critical question for you to ponder regarding your own product management strategy. Take a hard look at your own workspace. Are you just building fast, or are you actually building the right things? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it brought some fresh clarity to how you think about your software workflows. Until next time, stay curious.